Baldur's Gate 3 has some really interesting and unique companions, but it's not always clear who can be recruited and how to get them to join you. Some companions require you to make specific choices in the main story, and then others require you to either do certain dialogue choices, be playing good or evil, or bring a certain companion along with you when you find this new person. So let's talk about every companion you can recruit in Baldur's Gate 3, what class they fill, and where to find them. Let's get straight into this, starting with number 1, Shadowheart. Shadowheart is a half high elf cleric, and you find her on the ship, and then you free her from her cage as part of the tutorial. And then when you finish the tutorial and you land on the beach, she's the first one you come across. And yeah, you just wake her up and she joins you. Simple as that. Next up, we got Astarion. Astarion is a high elf rogue, and you find him again as soon as you land. He's in the northwest area from when you land. So he's really simple as well. You just talk to him, pass a little dialogue check, or just talk him around, and he'll join you again. And then next up, we have Gale, a human wizard. As you pass through the broken down ship and you find this big portal just north of it, this is where you find Gale. You just you just walk past the portal, he'll holler over to you, and you just chat to him, pass a little check to get him out of the portal, and he'll join your party. Again, another super simple one. These three are kind of they're the easy three that you just come across as soon as you land. There's not really any choices to make. It's just you find them easily, and they'll join you with a little conversation. Okay, now onto the characters that you might actually miss if you don't go to the area. We have Lae'zel, a Githyanki fighter, another one that you meet on board the ship at the start of the game in the tutorial. Well, once you're in the Act 1 map and you start progressing north, you'll find Lae'zel captured in this little area here before you get to the big refugee camp and the grove. Lae'zel asks you to get rid of the people around her, and then once you've done that, she asks you to free her from the cage. You can ask her to say please, and if not, she won't. And that's it. You just don't get her. So yeah, you literally have to free her out. You can shoot the bottom to get her out of the cage, and then once she's out, she'll join you. I know a lot of people here just destroyed her. They just killed her and took her stuff because the initial reaction is so frosty that people just didn't want her around. And yeah, I took her, and she didn't really grow on me throughout the game. She's still hanging around, but I've never used her. A very difficult character to like, especially early on. Next up, we have Wyll, the human warlock. Once you get to the big camp with all the traders, it's kind of left of the druid grove. You'll see this little area here where there's a bunch of people training, and there's a couple of people training them, like students being trained. And there's one guy here, Wyll. Kind of, it's not obvious that he can be recruited, but if you go over and talk to him, there's a little dialogue. You find out about him, and you connect the parasite, and you can get him to join your party. You don't have to do anything crazy here. It's simply just a little conversation, and he'll join you. Next up, Karlach, the Azariel tiefling, a barbarian and very hot-headed character who I'm a big fan of. This character is found north of the Risen Road. If you head there, there's this little outpost here, and if you go there, they'll give you a quest, and that kind of shows you exactly where Karlach is if you don't know already. So she's just kind of south of this on the Risen Road, and she's just over this broken down tree, and that's how you get to her. I would really advise here for a bit more flavor to bring Wyll. So their two quests kind of tie in together, or his ties into her kind of thing. So there's some really interesting dialogue if you bring Wyll here to this first initial encounter. But you can still talk to her without it, and then go back to camp and talk to Wyll after and kind of resolve it. But yeah, there's nothing fancy to do here. You just talk to her, keep her calm, and she'll join your party. Everything leading up to this makes Karlach seem like this big, evil, scary person, but she's actually one of the loveliest people, one of my favorite companions. So yeah, I really hope you don't miss this one. I'm a big fan. But that's Karlach. Next up, with a very lovely, good character, we have a very evil one, Minthara. Minthara is a drow paladin that you find in the Goblin camp. So as you go into the Goblin camp and you go into the underground area, you find Minthara. She's in like the back right down in this corner behind a table. Quite easy to miss. Is a big area with lots going on, and you can easily just get into a big fight and kill everyone at the very start. So yeah, if you can head in here and get into this back right corner, you'll find Minthara. Minthara is evil. Simple as that. Minthara's quest, to get Minthara to join you, she asks you to go and attack the druid camp. So she wants you to go and take out all of the druids. You go befriend them, and she'll lead her group, and she'll come attack them, and together you'll destroy all the druids. It is extremely evil, it's very bad, and your other companions won't like it. But if you do agree to help her and you agree to go to the druid camp, prepare for the ambush and try and help them take down the druids and steal the artifact, then you have performed an evil act. If you're a paladin, you will break your oath, and you'll be an oath breaker, and you're now you know, on the path to evil. Your companions might leave. Karlach will leave instantly if she's with you. So yeah, this is an evil choice, and you do lock out another companion later down the line, which I'm about to talk about. So yeah, evil playthrough, evil choice. Be ready for it. If you want to do it, it's right here. I know a lot of people won't take Minthara. And also in this goblin camp, we have our next one. We have Halsin, the wood elf druid. Halsin is the leader of the druid cove, the druid enclave, and he is in the warg pens of the goblin camp. So where Minthara is, kind of like southeast of there, you can go down, there's a door, you can go down into the warg pens, and that's where they keep all the animals. And in the right side of that, there's a cage, and that's where you'll find the bear. So he's in bear form. And if you talk to him, he's been attacked by goblins, and you can help fight the goblins and free him. And then he'll join you to help take out the goblins. Now, this all happens in Act 1, but he doesn't join you in Act 1. He might come and like stay in your camp and be your friend, but he isn't in your party. You can't play with him outside of this, you know, clear the goblin camp area. So yeah, you've got to make sure that you're good to the druids. You got to be a good boy with the druids, and then you've got to help him get out of the warg pen. And then later on in Act 2, when you get to Last Light Inn, Halsin will ask for your help. Help him. He opens some portal to help save Thaniel. And after this little mini quest is over, he'll join your party fully. You just go talk to him in your camp, and he'll say, "Thank you. I want to help you fight." He realizes that you're on the side of good. He wants to help fight evil, and he'll join you properly as a companion. You know, you can level him up, have him in your party, do all his cool bear and animal transformations, and he's unofficially kind of over halfway through Act 2, I would say. Okay, Act 2's next companion you can get is Jaheira, a high half-elf druid. And it's very easy to mess this one up or to make the wrong choice and not be able to recruit her. So let's go over it. So as soon as you get to the Shadowcursed lands, you make your way to Last Hope Inn. And there you'll meet Jaheira, and you'll have a drink, and you'll get the initial meeting, and you'll find out about her. Now, she stays in Last Hope Inn, and the only way to recruit her is if you keep Last Hope Inn safe. So there's a few moments where it can actually fall and everyone can be lost and die. So when the cleric is attacked, you have a chance to save her or not. You have to save her. The cleric keeps the spell protecting the town safe, so you have to do that and keep the town safe. Next up, we're getting into slight spoiler territory for that coming to the end of Act 2, and it's about the Night Song. So warning. As you get to the Night Song, it's the Shah mission at the very end. You go down to the pool, and then there's the thing that says, going in here, you can't turn back. Make sure you've done everything. As you go down here, if you have Shadowheart with you, Shadowheart wants to kill the Night Song. It's part of her main quest. She can be talked around, but her initial thing is that she wants to kill the Night Song. If you let her, Shadow will fall on the land. And that means that, Last Hope Inn will fall to the shadows, and your chances of recruiting Jaheira are gone. But yeah, that's the two things that you can't mess up. But then, if you've done both those right and you've kept the inn safe, when you get to the very end of Act 2, the big fight, Jaheira leads her harpers to the big fight. And you can ask her to help with the fight, and she'll join you in the fight. And then at the very end, at the top of the tower, when you've done all of the fight and you've beaten the boss, Jaheira's there again, and you can ask her to join you. Keep progressing, beat the boss, and she'll join you fully on your party. For the next area, she'll be in your party. Okay, and then the final companion you can get is in Act 3, and that's Minsc. He's a human ranger, and in order to get him, you need to already have Jaheira, because he is a part of Jaheira's main companion quest. So her quest is called the High Harpers, and it's all about looking for the Harpers, and he is a part of this quest, and having Jaheira with you will let you get Minsc. So yeah, if you haven't got her, jump back, and that's how to get her, and then from there we can get Minsc. So in order to talk about him, we do have to touch on spoilers. So here we go, Act 3 spoilers, but not for the story, but for him. And then when we get into the big area of Baldur's Gate, we want to go to the counting house, the bank. So once you get to the bank, you want to head to the vault. You'll learn all about something happening in the vault, and you can go and help the situation. So someone's trying to steal from the bank, and you want to get yourself a pass, offer to help. There's a head clerk on the right. You want to offer to help, and you'll get a temporary bank pass. Show this, get in, and progress to the very end of the bank. Once you get here, to get into the high security part of the bank, there is a little puzzle to solve. If you can't be bothered to work this out, the password is 1356. So you just jump from thing to thing, and that'll open the door. Head in, and you'll find Minsc. And he has one of the most amazing entrances of any main character. It's absolutely incredible. And yeah, you have to do a big fight here against, all of these guys. Once you've beaten them, there'll be some orders on one of the bodies and it'll show you that they're heading to the sewers. That's the next place. So you want to head to the sewers too and find them. They're at the very back of the sewers. So the sewer has a ton of different entrances, but you're heading to the top left. So you can get in the sewer through loads of different manholes. There's a couple of secret cellars. But once you get into the sewers, you go into the top left area through this big tunnel. There's a few little puzzles on the way. And once you get here in this top left corner, you'll find Minsc again. Now this goes completely different whether you do or don't have Jaheira in your party. Now once you're in here, I don't think there's any way to avoid this big fight, but you want to go into passives and turn on non-lethal attacks. I don't think you can avoid this fight. I tried a few ways and I don't see a way not to. But once you get into this fight, you want to turn on non-lethal attacks and you want to take him down. You want to take Minsc down and just knock him out. I think if you kill him, it's just over. So yeah, try and fight and knock him out. And then once you win the fight, he'll wake up and a cutscene will start and you can start the recruitment process. And the way you do this is you convince the Mind Flayer, you convince the Emperor to protect him. You convince the Emperor to protect his parasite. It's the same way you're all protected from the parasite. You take the control off it and you kind of give him his control back. So yeah, you have to convince it. It feels like an evil choice going against the Emperor for me, but yeah, he seems like a nice guy, a little crazy, but a nice guy so far. Another thing is, I don't understand why recruiting Minsc is so much more confusing than everyone else. It's almost impossible to mess up with everyone else. Like, as long as you can find them, it's a fairly simple recruitment. But this guy was just a big web of confusion for me. I had to, work out a few different things of where to go and how to find him. And then you need Jaheira, and then you need to pass the thing, and then you need to knock him out. Really, I don't understand why he was so much harder than everyone else and so late in the game. But yeah, that's how you get him. And that's it. Yeah, that's all 10 companions in Baldur's Gate 3 and how to get them. I hope this has been helpful. If there's anything that maybe wasn't clear, there's a lot in this video. If there's anything that wasn't clear, let me know down below and I'll explain it further. And if I've missed anyone, if there's a secret 11th character somewhere, please let me know. I thought I found them all, but if I've missed one, I would love to know. I'm ready for another playthrough and I'll pin it if there's another one. So yeah, that's it. If this has helped, liking the video helps me out so much, and subscribe for more guides and tips, things like that in this sort of format. But that's it from me. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next one. I'm going to go back and play more Baldur's Gate, so take care, everyone. See you in a bit. Bye.